Welcome back to Living with a Classic, and well, it's not really summer, but you gotta take the top off anyways. Welcome back to this 1998 MGF. Do a little cold start there. And this was a part of is a part of a trading up series. And I need to talk about that a little bit because I had this car for almost a week now. And well, let's just say it's already a little bit part of the family. So the original idea with this series was that, well, I got this free Renault Clio if I picked it up. So the original part was just thinking first, well, let me fix it up and a little bit of profit and I'll use that with the channel. Because at that moment the channel wasn't really monetized and it was just costing me a lot of money to do all the projects. During that time it was monetized, not like it's making a ton of money, but it was paying for the projects I was doing on the channel. And then I thought, well, let's do a trading up series. I've always wanted to do something like that. If you remember the old wheeler dealer trading up and all of that. I gotta slow down here a bit. They have put new surface here on our road, which is nice, but it takes a while to, for it to settle. And so I thought, well, all right, let's do a trading up series. Let the end goal be a British sports car. And yeah, things happened. The Clio ended up being a bigger project than I thought, and I had to sort of put it to the side because I was still working full time at my regular job then, and all these things. And then, well, I thought, you know what? Let's once I've sold it, I thought, you know what? Let me try and get my wife involved a little bit with it. So she has the Range Rover that she absolutely loves, and I thought, let's get something else. And then we were watching a TV show or something, and an old Corvette came on, like a late C3 or something. She was like, that could suit me. That's something cool. And I said, all right, well, we have a goal. So I thought, we will trade up to that. And then as time went by, we had the Morris, which was really, really fun just to get going, but a little bit cramped to drive and really not that comfortable. I also do need to say that my wife, if you don't know, she does have a couple autoimmune diseases and arthritis and things, which you can get young actually, and which also means that certain cars are just not comfortable for her, and it's usually manual cars. However, this car is comfy for her. She does really enjoy the seats, and well, let's just say this is the first chance I've had to drive it since we got it back. She's used it a lot. I don't actually know exactly how many miles she's put on it, but she's gone through about half a tank of fuel, which, considering how fuel efficient this little thing is, that is quite a lot. So here's the thing. I think the MG will be staying for a bit. I'm not saying it's a forever car or something, but it's definitely part of the fleet at the moment. And I'm really happy about that, actually. It does make for some complications with the trading up series, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I'm really happy because it's a really nice example. Yes, it's a little bit on the higher miles, but a lot of you guys pointing out in the comments that really for age, it's not bad. People talking about head gasket. Well, with the miles and everything, of course, it's been done. Most K series that are running now has had the head gasket done and improved. And also, if something were to happen, it's not the most difficult car in the world to do a head gasket on. It doesn't seem like you have much access to the engine, but what you do is the whole roof, you sort of fold it up the other way, and then you have access to the engine. It is freshly serviced. It has almost a year's worth of inspection or MOT, and the only thing it really needs is a cam belt in the fall. It's due in the fall, not with miles, but with age. Oh, you guys are shaking there a little bit. This is a little bit of a bumpy road, but I think this is a really, really fun summer car, and my wife's enjoying driving it a lot. and we're going to pick up the hard top for it, and that means you can drive it a little bit into fall as well. And yeah, I'm really happy about that. But it's a trading up series we need to talk about. Oh, it probably means that series is on a hold for a bit, because, well, technically we have traded up to a British sports car. It's not a classic British sports car, but it's a modern classic. It is very usable. It's a lot of fun. Just, you know, put the top down and drive today, and it's easy to drive. Clutch is light, brakes are good, the driving position is good. So even if you have someone who has, you know, an illness which makes, you know, driving certain cars a little bit uncomfortable, this is still a comfortable, nice, easy to drive little sports car. Engine in the rear makes a really good noise. I mean, it's not warmed up yet, so we're going to wait a little bit on that. And this happens to be a very good example. It's also a little rare for me to actually buy a car that right away you can drive. It doesn't really need anything. Yes, it needs the little cam belt thing, but that's, you know, I think it was done in September, almost 5 years ago. So September will be 5 years. So we'll do in the fall, or maybe sometime in the summer if I get a little bit of time. So it is rare for me to buy a car that's ready to use, and I think everyone in the family sort of enjoys that, and I do as well. I love tinkering, I love doing all of that, but it is kind of nice buying a car that you can just use. And it has been used every single day since we picked it up, to the point where I actually haven't had a chance to even give it a wash, or really, I've just given it a mechanical once over, just checked everything looked good. I mean, of course, I trust Don a lot, but other than that, it still needs 1 or 2 days just going through, giving it a wax, cleaning the top and everything, and getting it really nice. There's a couple of carpets and things loose inside, but it drives nicely, it rides nicely, it has good tires, and makes a lovely noise. Let us pull out here onto this little faster road, and we'll go through the gears a little bit. K-Series do actually sound really good. That is a lovely little noise. You can have a lot of fun in a car like this without, you know, breaking the speed limit, without losing your license, and without it using a lot of fuel. We haven't checked yet, but it seems extremely fuel efficient, and that's what everyone says about these. So I have an errand to run now, and then when we get back, we'll do a little walk around, show you a couple more things on the car. One thing that's really nice is it's sat out now in the rain for a little bit. I do have space for it outside, but we've just been driving it a lot, enjoying it. And actually, it's completely dry inside. So it's an MG that doesn't leak. That's worth something as well. I gotta go pick up some parts, and then we'll talk about the trading up series, and sort of see what's gonna happen with that. And hopefully you guys are happy that the MG is staying for a bit. Won't make a ton of videos, but, you know, we'll do cam belt and a couple of small things to it, and probably a whole detail and making it look really nice. Just made it back from some errands, and this car, it's so much fun to drive. It really is an underrated little sports car. It's well balanced, it runs nice. I think when we have a day with a little bit better weather and balance for the car a little bit, we'll take it on some really twisty roads and really see what it does. But yeah, sort of busy today running errands, but fun to take it out anyways. So I'll do a little walk around of the car, and then I want to ask you guys, what should we do with the trading up series? I have a couple ideas, but I want to know what you guys think. So yes, it has involved a little bit of work, but it's fun to think that this nice little sports car here, that's just work from a free car, trading up the third car in a series. And, well, I think that's really fun to think about that. My wife and I can enjoy this car this summer, and the kids will, one at a time at least, can enjoy the car over the summer, and it's technically free. That is really cool. Though condition-wise, besides it being filthy, I haven't a chance to wash it yet, we've just driven it. There isn't a speck of rust on it anywhere. all the paintwork is in really good shape as well. It does need a little bit of polish. It does have a couple small like parking dents here and there. So I don't know if we end up keeping it longer. Maybe I'll ask the guys at the PDR place I've used, see if they can get those out. The wheels are in really nice condition as well. Need a little bit of a clean, but has good tires, Kumo tires at the rear. And I think we have Continentals. Yeah, Continentals up front. So really good tires on it as well. The headlights, they look new, so I think they must have been replaced at some point. I'm often not a biggest fan of light silver metallic cars just because if anything happens, you have to paint it, it's extremely obvious. But if this car has had paint, I can't really notice it, at least color-wise. We'll see when we give it a wash, see if we can find a panel that looks a little different, but at least they all sort of match. That was one thing I didn't like about the S-Type I had some years ago. It had a front wing painted, and it was done very well. It was actually done by the Jag dealer when the car was just a couple years old. But you could always tell that it was painted because of the silver. Back here, it is quite practical. Like I've just ran some errands, and yeah, picking up a little sandblaster, doing a small thing like a point blaster, some blasting media, some sandpaper, some dog food. So you could easily have this as a weekend car, 2 adults in it, bags. I think like most sports cars, it's soft bags to pack in here, and that is quite straightforward. The engine in here, here's a little flap that you open up to check coolant and oil. It's just had a service, so everything's looking really good and hasn't used any coolant or any oil, so that's good. Over here, you open up the front compartment here, which is not really meant for luggage. You have the battery there, you have the spare tire. Really interesting that the brake servo is on that side, and I've seen it on the other side on right-hand drive cars, so that's interesting. And fuses and all of that, and washer fluid. So technically you could probably put a little bit, some extra things in there, and if you're going on a trip you could remove the spare, but I think it's good to have a spare. Interior wise, the rain starting, you can hear on the trees. It's in very good condition. Like I said, we haven't cleaned it out or anything yet. This is the only thing I'd like to have fixed probably on it. See if the piping can be fixed. We got to finish this now. It's the rain here. Carpets are really nice. There's a little bit of trim right there. Maybe you can get a new one of those. And just all the carpet needs to be stuck back into the trim or glued here at the edges. But I might take that opportunity just to remove the carpet and shampoo it. We will see. The top is in really good condition and actually doesn't leak. I believe the rear window's been replaced because this part is gray here. It zips out and it's starting to fog up, so that could be something to replace in the future, but it's not leaking at the moment. And you gotta make sure you have the keys on you before you close it up. Other than that, the wind deflector works really well. The electric windows work, the heated seats work, the heater works well, the fan works on all speeds. The instrument cluster is really, really nice. I think the white dials look good and has sort of a reddish orange glow at night. Full leather interior in nice condition. You have a little bit of storage back there. Not really much. Cup holders that I wouldn't use because, well, yeah, things can happen. A little bit of storage down there. We have a remote for the stereo. And there's a glove box under there as well. So you see, that's what happened with the carpets. They just all need to be tucked in. Maybe I'm going to glue them in and then tuck them in behind the rubber again. So just some small things like that. Overall, a very, very nice car. I'm going to finish off this video with the top up because, well, it's raining and it's sort of thunderstorm. So once it's going to start, it's going to really, really pour down. But yeah, I think I haven't said these seats are incredibly comfortable. I A car that was, I guess, a competitor to this, a BMW Z3. My mom had one growing up in my teenage years, and I've driven quite a lot in that. And that, the seats are good looking in those, but yeah, definitely not comfortable. And that's not really my thing, and not really my wife's thing either. We both of us, we like, sporty cars, yeah, but comfy seats. I once drove that Z3 from the Netherlands to Sweden, and after about 40 minutes, I had a cramp. And that was, 9-hour drive. These, at least I have a feel, we'll take it for a long trip sometime. I have a feeling that, it feels good. And I've had some people comment that they've toured, Scotland and things in these MGs. So they seem to be really good on long trips. But now on to the trading series. So at least it's on a halt at the moment. Maybe we'll get sick of this and, continue and get something else. However, I like to continue the trading series, but in a different way. Let me know what you guys think. Either we start a new trading series, but we have plenty of cars. We don't really need to trade into something at the moment because, well, I have everything. I mean, yes, there are dream cars and everything, but I need a bigger garage then. Even though we have a pretty big one. But I think what could be fun, what I still like to do is I like cheap cars and sort of fix them up, getting them through an MOT and sell them, making a little profit. If you make maybe $500 or $1,000 or something, that's fun. Sort of like we did with the Clio and the Morris and things like that. Do you want to see that? So we'll have some, small car purchases. There will be classics, modern classics sort of things. Purchase price $1,000, $1,500, and then fix them up a little bit, maybe sell them for $3,000, things like that. Is that something you want to see every now and then in between the other content? Because I really enjoy those sort of things, but I want to know what you guys think in the comments down below. Or do you want me to have a new trading up series? Oh, we got the flies coming here with the thunderstorm and something else. Anyways, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with friends. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. It really does help out a lot. Till next time, I'm Adam. This is Living with a Classic. I'll see you soon.